Whew. On a day where it's been a scorcher with a pre-sizzling summer here in the Midwest, right here in Toledo, Ohio, I take you to Queen City of the Buckeye State, Cincinnati, for this Wednesday night delight. For it's Wednesday. You know what that means? The Survival Studios is once again live, bringing you continued coverage of the Owen Hart Foundation for both the men and the women as I bring you this feature presentation for this year's Summer Blockbuster. Hello, everybody, and welcome back in here once again to the Simple Reliable Studios. You know what this is, for I am the man, the simple brand, the voice of the forever grateful for all things professional wrestling, damn it, and my name is Noah Foster. So thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoy the coverage, the engagement, alternative commentary interactions, and such. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat or PayPal the passions. It's as simple as that. Let's go ahead and run down the card now. As far as we know, we're going to hear from the Muscle Chomp. I also believe it will be in action. We will also hear from the Jet, Kevin Knight. Mark Briscoe, in pursuit of the AEW Men's World Championship, goes one-on-one with the Bastard Pat, looking for a fight in Cincinnati. And, of course, John Moxley, Cincinnati's own, will defend the AEW Continental Gold against the very dangerous former Ring of Honor Television champion, Shane Taylor of Shane Taylor Promotions. As, of course, both the men and the women's Owen Hart Foundation tournaments will continue tonight. And tonight, we will determine the other half of our finals and officially our finals for this year's men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. As Swerve Strickland goes one-on-one once again with Big Bad Brody King, a Revolution rematch. Whoever wins this match will face Will Ospreay after being endured in the finals to determine this year's winner of the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And as the women continue to shape things out on the women's side, we, of course, will also have Skye Blue taking on the Sun God. Will she choke out Sareee, or will Sareee scorch Skye Blue out of this tournament? Skye Blue taking on the former Marigold and IWGP Women's Champion for the first time ever after Thecla's declaration that she has declared death on Stardom. Can one of Joshi Pro Wrestling's finest put Skye Blue out of the tournament and subdue the madness as we go inside the Brady Music Hall in Cincinnati, Ohio? And we also, of course, have Orange Cassidy taking on Andrade. Andrade has also made his intentions known that he wants a shot at the AEW Men's World Championship. As we are live with Torch of Fire in the Ring from Cincinnati in the Andrew J. Brady Music Center, as this is AEW Dynamite. Man, I love this venue. I wish I was there live tonight. But again, priorities over passions, and I'm happy to bring a blind conduit and a positive reinforcement on this world we love so much, professional wrestling, damn it. And we got Toya Giovanni in the ring to kick things off. Let's see what kicks things off tonight. Oh, boy. And it looks like we're kicking things off with the cycle here, Tommaso Ciampa, who has taken every dig he can against Chris Jericho since that assault where he took his moment 2 weeks ago after AEW Double or Nothing. Makes me wonder if Jericho will show up tonight here. Countdown to the Cornerstone. Safet, good to see you, and it's good to see you, Matt, as well in the chat. And again, you all can follow with me if you choose by watching this on HBO Max, which is what I'm using, or watch it on TBS for your local cable and satellite provider. Tommaso Ciampa, of course, who came in AEW earlier this year and won the TNT Championship in his very first match. As the Psycho Killer has set his sights on the Ocho, the Wizard, the Influencer, the Cornerstone, Jericho, and we have not seen Jericho since that blind assault 2 weeks ago and that knee to the face. And then this past Saturday, locking in the walls of Jericho on a local talent, as Ciampa literally had to divide and say that Tommaso Ciampa is better than Chris Jericho. Of course, Jericho and freaking Tony Schiavone's history goes all the way back to WCW, if y'all didn't know. Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa pretty much trying to erase Chris Jericho's greatness and legacy from the existence, not just of AEW, but from the wrestling business. Baleman, good to see you as always. Thank you so much. Appreciate you as always. Let's see what we got to say. I'm very curious. Oh. Apparently, Ciampa wants Tony Schiavone to say what he said on Saturday in Cincinnati. Tommaso Ciampa is better than Chris Jericho. Do you all think Tommaso Ciampa is better than Chris Jericho? Whoa, 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 whoa. Damn. Okay, threatening Tony Schiavone's back. Come on, man. The legendary voice of the wrestling business for 50 years. Say his name and he appears! Chris Jericho's in the building! After threatening Tony Schiavone's livelihood and still walking, standing, Chris Jericho's back! Stay in Cincinnati. Again, I wish I was in Cincinnati right now, but again, there's always next time. The steely blue eyes of Ciampa eyeing Chris Jericho that has yet to turn around. There he is! Tommaso Ciampa has been hungry for this fight, calling Chris Jericho a snake and begging Chris Jericho to show up. And it seems like Ciampa got his wish. There's always big things that happen here in the world of professional wrestling in Ohio, that's for sure. And of course, Cincinnati getting along with the Judas sing-along. How fitting inside a music hall. And Ciampa pulls the needle off the record and stops the music. Saying, cut the music, cut the music, cut the music. And so far, the music's still playing. And the audience is going to finish their sing-along regardless. Send Judas in my mind. Nicely done, Cincinnati. I wonder what this might lead to with Forbidden Door around the corner. Still, of course, a couple of weeks before Forbidden Door. And, of course, folks, stay tuned. We'll be covering that here live at the Sibaba Studios. In the flesh. I wonder if Ciampa is challenging his own immortality or Chris Jericho's legendary legacy. If not both. Steve Jarrett saying that. Find someone who actually has hair. I mean, from one bald guy to another, from Ricochet to Ciampa. Bald. Oh, Jericho being apologetic. Hi, I'm Jericho. A nice introduction to Ciampa. Face to face. Entire career. That's Tommaso Ciampa, in case you all ever mispronounce the name. They're calling him Tommy. Let's go turn to a Santino segment. Don't call me that. I mean, Tommy's a better name than Bald. Tommaso. Yeah, it is easier to chant Tommy than Tommaso, and you can fit Tommy easier on a shirt too, in any size font. Tommy chants, reading out loud and proud. Is my dream to call him Tommy? Wow. Tommy's mommy? Oh, jeez. Oh, Jericho, you love to play with fire. Tommy's mommy chants reading out loud and proud. Let's hear it for Tommy's mommy. And for anyone out there whose name's Tommy that has a mommy, good on you. This. Dog's breakfast explanation. What makes a man hate? Bald. Bad beard. You know, like Jericho Cruz, Goblin face. Mean Santa. For insults him. Whoa, Jericho getting serious now. That's the thing about Jericho. He can get serious when he has to. Hmm. Why? The reason that Ciampa doesn't like Jericho because he's not Jericho? Well, I mean, big fish, big pond. That is one heck of a sparkly Jack blazer right there Jericho wears. Ooh. And the Tommy instigation again. The proverbial looking at the man in the mirror. Do you appreciate him or do you hate him? Whoa! The Jericho and Ciampa coming to blows here. And now we got security and the entire AEW referee corps coming out to separate these two men. That final Tommy and that last effect statement by Jericho might have gotten underneath the Psycho Killer's skin. There might be no security to break these two up. We got a brawl. I'm Cincinnati, no stranger to that, though. Surprised it took that long for Ciampa to finally try and take the first shot. Bottom line, master manipulator, master innovator, that is Chris Jericho. Once again, getting inside Ciampa's head. Face to face this time. The Ciampa bringing it free, though, and Jericho, don't! Jericho taking Ciampa down. Someone tell me these two are going to have a match sooner rather than later. The Forbidden Door next week, and Jerry is out. So far, both men at a stalemate here, but I think Jericho got the better of this actual first face-to-face. It's Paul Turner right now trying to bring the peace. Again, we haven't had our first match already, and we're already figuring out what the hell is next in AEW with this feud with another bald man for Chris Jericho. So, fireworks going off so early so far tonight on Dynamite. Again, thank you folks for tuning in. As I talked about earlier, we are here primarily bringing our focus to the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. We are going to figure the other half of our finals as Strickland will go one-on-one with Brody King. And unfortunately, due to sustained injuries that Sareee has suffered, we are not going to get the Sun Gods tonight in Cincinnati. It will be Sky Blue now versus Maya World in the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament quarterfinals. We wish Sareee the best in her continued recovery efforts. For those that have watched or followed Joshi Pro Wrestling, we all know the extent that Sareee, of course, is recovering from injuries. Speaking of recovering from injuries, talk about recovering from your identity as Kevin Knight has sold himself out to the Don Callis family. Renee Paquette trying to get the scoop here. With Speedball and Don Callis getting involved. Go ahead and say in the chat, F Don Callis, as tradition. And here's Andrade Idolo. Andrade saying, I want a world title. He's new to the family. He wants one too? Tranquilo. Get the back of the line. Oh. Okay. Don Callis getting too many cooks. Don Callis, I think, has way too many cooks in the fire, way too many players in his family. Clearly, Andrade and Kevin Knight are not seeing eye to eye. But I guess we'll follow the further attention of the Don Callis family as things continue as we now get ready for our first match here. Justin Roberts taking away. It's time for the AEW Continental Championship. I also want to send out well wishes and prayers, of course, to Maya World and mad respect to Maya World, who was offered time off. But as you see officially from Tony Khan, thank you, Drainmaker, by the way, follow him at the Drainmaker. Maya World has officially replaced Sareee tonight in the Owen Hart Cup quarterfinal match against Skye Blue. Sareee was unfortunately not cleared to compete due to a bad neck. Tony Khan even offered Maya World time off to be with her family, but she wanted to wrestle. The love of the business, this love that we share, that literally brings us out of the darkness that we face or feel. That's what Maya World right now is chilling tonight. So nothing but empowerment to Maya World and the Skye Blue. Good luck tonight facing somebody she's much more familiar with. So stay tuned for that, folks, as now we get ready for the Continental Championship match. Take it away, Justin Roberts. Cincinnati's own back home, entering his arena as the gladiator that has yet to fall. Death Riders against the world, Cincinnati against the world, Jon Moxley back home, truly in his world. And of course, since Jon Moxley won this title last year at World's End, beating the Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, in the finals of last year's Continental Classic, Jon Moxley has remained undefeated underneath Continental Championship rules when the gold's been on the line. And of course, for those that don't know, Continental Championship matches have a 20-minute time limit. All seconds are banned from ringside as security stop and interfere from going along Jon Moxley as he makes his way forward into his fateful masses. If there was ever a city full of Death Riders, it is definitely Cincinnati. And I would consider myself one of them, except I'm from Toledo. It's almost like Jon Moxley kind of can appreciate Shane Taylor's Batman Rumble mentality, especially after assaulting one of his own. Shane Taylor is one of those that doesn't take shortcuts, but also doesn't take anyone's BS, as he literally leads his own promotion. There you see, of course, the infantry, Christian XO, and Trish Adora, who got her ass kicked against Queen Aminata yesterday at Ring of Honor, but still continues fighting. And Shane Taylor, one of the meanest, baddest men with a boxing background out of the Cleveland, Ohio area. Former Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Cleveland versus Cincinnati. It's literally an Ohio fight, and I love that. Last time these two faced each other one-on-one, it ended via referee's decision, and it was 2 years ago, on Collision. Jon Moxley, of course, AEW Continental Champion now, 166 days. This marks officially his 5th defense of the AEW Continental Championship after outlasting Kyle O'Reilly and forcing the Violent Artist to submit. Again, Paul Turner ejecting Shane Taylor Promotions from ringside and from the building. Again, no seconds allowed or you risk fire or termination. The bell rings are underway as Paul Turner calls for this contest. And our first official match is underway in the Summer Blockbuster. And of course, you all can be part of the conversation. Use the hashtag AEW Dynamite. I highly encourage it. We should have a lot of fun here tonight on this fine Wednesday night. And we know how dangerous Shane Taylor is with that southpaw. He can literally break a man's jaw with that. Might be looking to knock out Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley right now, got to be aware of that quickness here. Stiff con elbow tie in the early going. The thing about Jon Moxley, he's been the constant worker. He has been the constant standard in AEW since day one, Double or Nothing 2019. Working every day and night, overcoming his demons, and truly developing his own mentality that has carried him forward in his continued wrestling legacy. And of course, right now, AEW Dynamite, the conversation on the X. It's a battle in Ohio. And I can only imagine how Shane Taylor would feel tonight if Jon Moxley beats him again, whether or not by a tap out or knockout. That remains to be seen. Of course, we saw the war with the Death Riders and Shane Taylor Promotions escalate this past Saturday on Collision in trios action. Double wrist lock applied here, pushing Jon Moxley to the corner. Of course, Jon Moxley, only way he loses the title via pinfall or submission inside the ring. Counter disqualification means nothing. Shane Taylor already jaw-jacking Paul Turner and Jon Moxley. Shane Taylor has always been a person, though, to talk way more and bobble his head than D'Lo Brown, but I think he's also had a stronger career to back it up. Again, like I said, one of the most notorious, long-reigning Ring of Honor World Television Champions, Jon Moxley, of course, a record-setting 4-time AEW World Champion, former IWGP Intercontinental and World Heavyweight Champion. And Shane Taylor, Jon Moxley squaring off here, trading these elbows. Stiff exchange. Now Moxley now, go for the right hands, go for the elbow. Body shot by Shane Taylor, though. Another one right now. Shane works the body here, trying to literally hit a debilitating blow to maybe Jon Moxley's liver. Of course, it's hard to fight when you can't breathe. Good to see you, Nathan Banks. And of course, I'm always ready for a night of professional wrestling. Damn it! As Jon Moxley on the move, might be looking to go. Changing positions, going for the running drop kick for the Rose. Now, Jon Moxley, once again, looking to be on the move and looking to dive for the top face Suicida. Driving Shane Taylor down the outside. Very rare you see Jon Moxley go off his feet. Oh, here we go, though. Both these men are no strangers to fighting on the outside. Now Shane Taylor. Oh, geez, just throwing Jon Moxley to the timekeeper's area. Now going back inside the ring to break the 10 count here. It's also one of those things where I feel like Jon Moxley has truly been a measuring stick to see, are you willing to work harder than him for what he believes this business deserves? And I think that's going to be really the Achilles heel to anyone who wants to try and take the Continental Championship from him. Now Jon Moxley literally gouging the eyes of Shane Taylor. Big right elbow, though, by the meanest man from Cleveland. Hoisting up Moxley and putting him through the timekeeper's table. Spiking him with a Uranagi. Is there more gold coming home to the promotion tonight? Stay tuned as this match continues in the restaurant quality Parazo picture. Fuck streaming services and fuck television. Indeed, it's the wrestling night of the week. And again, figure those that are tuning in, please let's go comment and tell a friend. I want to remind you again tonight, due to the fact that Sareee has not been medically cleared due to a bad neck, Maya World, who has chosen to compete tonight instead of taking time out for her family, has now taken her place in this year's Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament and will be going one-on-one with Skye Blue. That is tonight, folks, in our women's quarterfinals. The winner of this match, of course, will have Athena waiting for them in the semifinals. Both women are victims, of course, of Athena's forever Ring of Honor Women's World Championship run. Again, to Sareee, I wish her nothing but the best. What a very sad state of affairs. But again, the discipline of conditioning, though, for a Joshi's neck is beyond ridiculous. And both Shuri and Sareee have had their fair share of injuries on the neck and the shoulders. So, again, I hope that Saree's okay. Former, of course, Tokyo Pro Sports MVP and winner. And Jon Moxley, as I said, has held this AEW Continental Championship now since literally the end of last year, towards December. And Shane Taylor, you know, it was funny because talking about Ohio, it was here, right here in Toledo, Ohio, where AEW last took place with Collision and Ring of Honor. That Shane Taylor recruited the infantry, encouraging them, we all going to get serious. We all going to get, you know, to the point you're actually going to have a championship. And truth be told, Shane Taylor and the infantry were the former Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions before Dalton Castle and the Outrunners took the titles from them, literally just recently at Supercard of Honor, which led to this instigation of the conglomeration and the Death Riders and this all-out faction warfare as the infantry have invaded AEW alongside Santana Promotions, starting with Collision. Although Maria Shafir jacked Trish Adora's jaw and learned who, I think Trish learned what a legit bitch is, not named Ronda Rousey. Damn. Maria Shafir is a person that fears no man or woman. Again, most lethal Death Rider. I stand by what I said. Of course, last time Shane Taylor held singles gold was the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. As far as this Continental title goes, folks, this will be Jon Moxley's 16th showcase of the Continental Championship. He's already gone through a total of 10 eliminators, and as I said, this will be his 5th title defense officially, and he's already had 2 title defenses that actually went to no time limit, and they went above and beyond the 20 minutes. So I'm curious if this goes to a draw, and can Shane Taylor run the clock? Sheldon Benjamin, I mean, he was 5 seconds short of doing it as we are back here on Dynamite And Shane Taylor right now using the apron to his advantage, bracing Jon Moxley underneath the tarp, and might be looking for a blind, massive leg drop braced across the front and chest of the Continental Champion across that steel beam. And take a look at the replay here as Shane Taylor screaming out, "That's your king." King of Cincinnati might be literally taking off his throne tonight by one of the baddest men from the city that rocks. Shout out to my fellow Ohio brethren, the Cleaver Con Andrew. Go follow him, folks, and get your prime cuts. Go check out his restaurant, too, in Cleveland. And shout out to Virtue, of course, also a Cleveland native. And thank you to those that tuned in to NotiQ review yesterday. Hope you continue to follow and say yeah to NotiQ as we give you continued reviews and discussions. And of course, in some of the studios, we'll give you continued commentary, watch-along coverages, some predicting, interviews, shenanigans, and so much more. If you're tuning in for the first time, follow us today at SR Studios 2024 if you haven't already, to continue to follow along with what we do here, whether it's me, JJ, Walter, Ash, Datilla, Charles Schultz, who I consider an honorary member, and of course, Emmanuel Arlene Dominguez, and of course, Nick Ferrantes. Shout out to Ms. Ferrantes as well. Jon Moxley right now on the mat up to his knees, and Shane Taylor almost just waiting for Jon Moxley to turn around and get back up. Oh, and again, a defiance, the slap across the jaw and the bird up in front of Shane Taylor. Oh, man, that elbow drove Jon Moxley to the corner. Shot to the face, gets the boot up, though. Of course, Jon Moxley always competing in combat boots, not even regular wrestling boots. Knife-edge chop as the sweat just flies off, the perspiration. Up and down, attic basement contact by Jon Moxley, pointed the elbow across the jaw and the forearm across the chest. Big boot staggers Shane Taylor, refuses to leave his base though. Jon on the move again, and Shane Taylor again catches the boot, but Shane still left on his feet. Now Jon on the move again. Oh, and just runs into that elbow. And rebounds with a foot of lariat. Taylor taking a lot of punishment here, and Jon Moxley dishing it out in kind. What a ridiculous lariat. Again, the lariat is what runs into you. The clothesline is what you literally just take into you. That King Kong Bundy lariat by Jon Moxley has been an instrumental difference maker in setting up his opponent, of course, for that renegade bulldog choke. Now Jon Moxley mounting Shane Taylor in the corner, teeing off. And again, just gouging the eyes and taking a bite, going savage here tonight. I don't think that tastes like Skyline chili. I wonder what city is better, what people would declare better in Ohio, Cincinnati or Ohio, out of the two, Cincinnati or Cleveland. I mean, I've been to both, but I've been to Cleveland more often because it's closer. And of course, Cleveland, home to the Cleveland Browns that haven't won a Super Bowl, I don't think, ever. And of course, Cincinnati, home to the Cincinnati Bengals, just raking away against Shane Taylor here. The Taylor, though, with the headbutt, and another headbutt, and a third headbutt, creating separation between him and Jon Moxley, and Moxley down, staggered in the ring. Moxley and the drop shown, and Shane Taylor off the second rope looking for a massive splash. Cover, lateral press kick on it too by Jon Moxley. As Justin Roberts just gave the 10-minute call, we are halfway through this Continental Championship match. Again, these matches only have a 20-minute time limit, and all seconds are banned from ringside. This is a one-on-one contest. Renegade choke apply to Shane Taylor, drives Jon Moxley to the corner. Swing and a miss, and watch out, Connor with the rebound. Connected with the left, and the cover by Shane Taylor gets a 2 count. Damn. It was one of my favorite things I love to see in pro wrestling. It's a damn good lariat. Whether it's a ripcord, whether it's just one of those instinctive lariats with your non-dominant arm, or whether it's just a full-on pumping bomber from 0 to 600 like Shingo Takagi or the Bastard Pack. And Moxley struck up to his feet right now, trapped in the side headlock. And you see right now Jon Moxley breaking the grip, pulling apart the fingers. Getting the better, maybe, of Shane Taylor in the strength affair. And again, Shane, though, catching Moxley with another body shot with the core exposed. Smart move by the challenger. And once again, deliberately taking all the oxygen out of Jon Moxley, who can't maintain the vertical right now. It feels like that Jon Moxley's more vulnerable here down on the mat. Oof. Big right hand again by Shane Taylor. trying to win his first championship here in AEW, of course. Big hand delivered again, and both these men duking it out in the middle of the ring. Battle attrition here right now. Trading elbows. Something's got a gift here for the Continental title. Some of the backgrounds, of course. Both these men not given a life of promise. No, the Ace Crusher. Big, massive cutter. Now shoots the half and goes for the cover. Lateral press by Moxley. Retain gets 2 count. Holds onto the arm, though. Looking for the Jigatami. Cross arm breaker. Center of the ring, though. But again, a lot of muscle on Shane Taylor. Not nearly enough work done on that upper shoulder. As Shane right now immediately back on the attack. And again, going back to those body shots. Now turning John Moxley up and over. Bang! And a knee strike connects. Squaring down on John Moxley, and the ground and pound continues as the champion covers up. Paul Turner trying to call for the break here. Shane Taylor could risk disqualification. That hot temper could be Shane Taylor's downfall here. It also could be the point that he might make a mistake. And Posse looking for that package powder, but John Moxley able to slip down though, and immediately goes out to the ankle. Ankle lock applied here in the middle of the ring. John Moxley is just as much physical as he is technical. Shane Taylor pushing him off, though. But Moxley on the move with a curse stop. Driving Shane Taylor down. And the bulldog choke apply, middle of the ring. All that pressure on Shane Taylor's neck. And nowhere to go again, though. And there's the tap out, and John Moxley retains just like that. Step up to the Death Rider. You better be willing to go through death itself to win. Another successful defense for John Moxley, who still remains the holder of the AEW Continental title. And Shane Taylor tapped out immediately following that curb stomp and all that pressure applied to his neck in the rear naked bulldog choke. The fact of the matter that he literally knocked the air out of him for a split second helped John Moxley set up there. Oh, and a big right hand by Shane Taylor, knocking John Moxley the F out. Now the match is over. It's free range for Shane Taylor Promotions to do whatever they want to John Moxley. And Shane Taylor never wanted to be a respectful loser. Oh, just whipping the hide. Punishing John Moxley with that belt. The Death Rider is now coming in the fray. There goes Daniel Garcia. But again, the numbers game right now is still in favor of STP as the infantry. Double teaming Daniel Garcia on the outside. And right now, Daniel Garcia and John Moxley outnumbered here. Moxley getting choked out here. Maria Shafir now coming into the fray. But Trent Adora with a Singapore cane to the hamstring. Getting a little bit of payback against the most lethal Death Rider. The kendo stick now coming into play. Clearly, Shane Taylor had a freaking plan in the aftermath in victory or defeat. Now, Shane Taylor, what the world is he doing here? Going up to the second rope, and John Moxley once again in a vulnerable position. Another vicious splash, crushing the Continental champion. STP running wild in Cincinnati. Damage done. Insult to injury. John Moxley still the champion. Looks anything less but. Very rare you actually see the Death Riders laid out, let alone outnumbered. And someone tells me, though, you mess with the Death Riders, you will have hell to pay. Shane Taylor, you may have not realized the war that might come to you after today. So the kind of night, though, Strickland and Brody King looks to give us a match for violence as one man looks to punch his ticket to the finals. And as I said earlier, Meyer World now go one-on-one with Skye Blue in the quarterfinals, taking Saree's spot. Who will punch their ticket one step closer to All-In Wembley Stadium tonight? Still to come at Summer Blockbuster. John Moxley in a world of hurt. As we look back at last year's winner, Mercedes Moné, who of course made her appearance well known, that she's returned back home to finally maybe achieve the one goal and the one piece of gold that she has yet to get in her career. Yes, Fed, I agree. Good freaking grief. Apparently, Mercedes Moné believes what she saw was this vision lose its power. Seeing wasted opportunity, seeing misplaced positions, And the CEO is back to remind everybody exactly who she is, as Mercedes Moné made her presence known, not just in her return against Alex Windsor, but also in attacking Hazuki this Saturday. Still to come next week, Hazuki goes one with Mercedes Moné, and one of those two women will punch their ticket to the finals of this year's Women's Own Competition Tournament. Does the CEO go 2-0, or does she go bankrupt? We'll find out next week. And of course, that semifinal match will take place next week. In the meantime, oh Lord, here comes Don Callis. That freaking sucking the air out of the building noise. You call that music? That's like a vapor freaking vacuum cleaner. And Don Callis, I have something important to say. Apparently, introduced the newest member of the Don Callis family. Again. Kevin Knight. Kevin Knight being introduced by Don Callis, of course, now part of the Don Callis family, as the Jet is the TNT Championship, which means the TNT Championship is back in the Don Callis family. The level of growth, though, that Kevin Knight has literally achieved in a little over a year, and the people that he has literally been endorsed by, though, goes forward in the potential even Don Callis sees in Kevin Knight, and more so the potential that Kevin Knight sees in himself. To have Don Callis, though, as your manager, as your earpiece, as your influencer, though, that's just crazy. And it looks like Don Callis is going to pass off the mic to Kevin Knight here. Oh, good Lord. I mean, to be fair, Cincinnati is weird. You're not wrong. Kevin Knight saying what should be upset with Darby Allin. Once again, blaming Darby Allin for his decisions, and Darby Allin letting everybody down. The only one that's let everybody down, literally, is you, Kevin Knight. We expect better from you than sell out to the devil himself, the real devil, not Lucifer. Or is Lucifer worse than Hades? Jury is out. And the audience chanting, shut the F up. And also, F Don Callis. The most universally hated man in the entire wrestling business. Still after today, Don Callis. Accurate. Calling him maybe his number one asset. I mean, Kazuchika Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Andrade Idolo. You got a bigger list still than you, kid. But right now, you're wasting airtime. Signing bonus. How much did Don Callis actually take from you versus what he paid you is what I wonder. The manager always takes advantage of their talent. Let's just call it what it is. And no one takes more advantage of their talent than Don Callis. What? Kevin Knight calling out the AEW World Champion MJF. You really think MJF's going to answer to you? Oh, that's not MJF! Don Callis right now might want to run for the hills. As Darby Allin sits now, man, a skateboard to the back of the Jets. Between the shoulder blades and Darby Allin hell bent on revenge. Saying, I hope New York was worth it, bitch. And Darby Allin right now, a man possessed. And meanwhile, here comes the recruits, the jabronis, streaming in, and Don Callis right now calling in everybody to go after Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Trent Beretta, Rocky Romero. Darby Allin escaping right now after a hit-and-run assault, as it's clear to me that Darby Allin just called death to the Jet and was looking to kamikaze in the face of TNT with a coffin drop. Don Kaj, you got a whole new problem on your hands. Good luck neutralizing this one. Still to come tonight, Owen Hart Audition Tournament matches still to come. Orange Cassidy versus Andrade El Idolo. And of course, so much more ahead in the summer blockbuster as we get ready to man up, because coming up next is the Bastard Pop versus another man that wants MJF in his title, Mark Briscoe. After this commercial break, we got another commercial break here. Fuck streaming services. And also, in general, fuck television. Well, you all know as well as I do that when you think you got Darby Allin taken out, he doesn't stay down for long. He comes back with a vengeance. If a man can survive his own father when he's 6 years old, a bus, a T-bone collision, and freaking Mount Everest itself, then there is no stopping Darby Allin or keeping him 6 feet under longer than maybe a month if you're lucky. So I would not surprise me if Darby Allin tries to once again become the face of TNT. Hell, he was a standard for the TNT Championship, lest you all forget. 9 defenses after taking the title from the inaugural champion, Cody Rhodes. And, of course, celebrating that title in the name of the late, great, God rest his soul, forever exalted, Brody Lee. Well, as we got another commercial break, I hope everyone, again, is doing very well. For those that are looking forward to the next major push in wrestling, stay tuned, as Papa Gino did reschedule that, but that will come. Time's for it to change. So if you haven't already, subscribe today to the Papa Gino channel at Papa Gino 0017 for the next episode of Major Push Wrestling. We get the major push to professional wrestling. Damn it. Shout out to my fellow Italian statistician and / wrestling analyst. Okay, well, as we got a moment to breathe, I think this is about as good as any for us to take a short little break. So I just want to remind you real quick, if you're tuning in to Super Level Studios for the first time ever, I hope that you all enjoy what we do, as we do shenanigans, watch-alongs with alternative commentary, other activities, city predicting, and also interviews. For those that have followed us so far, thank you so much to those that we've been able to engage with, that you have allowed us to hear and share your story. Shout out to Brittany Brooks, of course, who did that with us recently, former FSW Women's Champion. She's going to get that title back. But she is definitely the center of attention and the future, if not the present, of this business. Thank you again, Brittany, for your time. And again, if you want to see more of those interviews, you can follow us today on Spotify to tune into them as well. Just look up Saturday Shenanigans and SR Studios 2024, and you will likely find our previous engagements with multiple incredible talent of this business, including to Alejandra Quintanilla, Rachel Lay, Heather Lim, Kara Lopez. The list goes on and on. I could be here all night and all day. Top tier Jasmine Allure, etc., etc. La Princesa Tiffany Nueves. Again, accurate. This is the only show I watch live on a weekly basis that's actually a wrestling product. Everything else is like potpourri. Hell, I just got done watching Bring Up Water. Can I just say right now, the inspiration, Holly Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, yes, I need more of that match and those 4 women, please, in my life. Yes, that was so damn good. So much damn fun. And of course, the virtuoso, the definition of pure technical ability. Deon Purrazzo still bringing our pure champion after a very hard fought bout with Burt Vixen. Meanwhile, Mark Briscoe with Tony Khan backstage. Let's go, bye-bye. What did? All right. Well, apparently, Tony Khan, Mark Briscoe had a little bit of a pre-match engagement. I wonder what that's about. Anyway, let's go ahead and get nuts, shall we? Go man out with that boy. Go, Mark Briscoe. This is going to be fun. Anytime Mark Briscoe's on my screen wrestling or talking, it's a good night of professional wrestling. And Mark Briscoe, he's been hell-bent on getting the AEW World Championship, especially off MJF, considering he was the last man to beat him on pay-per-view, putting his ass through tables and tacks. And now Mark Briscoe has to deal with something maybe worse than the devil, a dirty bastard. One of the most fastest, lethal, all-round, powerful in-ring workers in AEW. The freaking matchup of the Death Riders is insane when you look at it, honestly. Pac, of course, the inaugural All-Atlantic champion and former AEW International and World Trios champions, most notoriously known out of the Dragon Gate promotion. Of course, the Open the Dragon Gate champion. The definition of intensity through violence and agility and velocity is the Bastard Pac. Talk about definition of a styles clash here with freaking redneck kung fu and a 12-time Ring of Honor tag team champion, former Ring of Honor world champion too. The fact of the matter, though, that these two have shared many different wars, but never one-on-one, makes this even more unique to me as an exhibition. And Pac also is a man that has never held the AEW world title, but has fought for it previously. And right now, Rick Knott's calling for the bell. This unique exhibition, I do say unique in quotations, is underway. And clearly, MJF wants nothing to do with Mark Briscoe, whether or not it's fair, whether or not it's out of marketing foretell, according to his own little fragile ego or insecurity. Stiff Continental tie-up here between Pac and Mark Briscoe up against the ropes. I mean, honestly, I would love to see Mark Briscoe want to become the AEW World Champion. It would be such a poetic story for this man, for his family, for a man that found new life and rejuvenation in his conglomeration in All Elite Wrestling. Clean break here by the Bastard Pac. And I do think there's a sense of respect here between Pac and Mark Briscoe based on the wars these two men have shared in and out of course, casino ladder matches. And a stiff Continental tap here again. There's a weird form of respect that I think is garnered with the Death Riders when you actually compete with them in the ring that I've come to notice. And again, as I talked about before, Pac and Mark Briscoe have shared multiple times together in the ring, but have never faced each other one-on-one. In fact, the last time these two shared together in AEW, it was literally last year's Blood and Guts, where, of course, Mark Briscoe was on the winning side. And, of course, you all could be a part of the joy for less than your kidney at All Elite Wrestling. Follow them today, AEWTIX.com. Of course, they'll be in Cincinnati this coming weekend for a Collision for the Summer Blockbuster. New Mexico, Detroit coming up. Of course, we're going to All-In Wembley Stadium in London. And, of course, Forbidden Door will be open this time in San Jose, California. Sunday, June 28th. Tickets still available, and we will be covering that live. It'll be the show I look forward to covering live. And a company that has a stable roster, or at least enough of a damn roster. Maybe too many championships, but that's just the problem of the business. Again, not going there. If you want to learn more about our TED Talks and the state of the business, stay tuned for Saturday Shenanigans, where more often than not, I'm moderating. And right now, the hammerlock applied by Mark Briscoe. Might be looking for that cutthroat driver at some point, and Pac though knows very easily how to escape out of this move. Able to hoist him up. Nice head mirror. Flying mirror escape, and now the drop down. And Pac showing a little bit of his agility there. Mark Briscoe on the move, and Pac, oh man, shoulder tackle takes Pac down. Briscoe right now, and Pac firing each other up here. And now both men pie facing each other. There's a certain level of intensity that I think both wants to bring out one another. Sidestep, and of course, Pac has the speed advantage. Big boot, high boot to the jaw, swing and a miss. Knife edge shot by Mark Briscoe, who clearly has the heavier hands here, if I have to be honest. Blood and Guts match with Death Rise SP would be lovely. Honestly, Darren, I think you might have literally foretold the depth note of STP and the infantry. How fitting and poetic it would be. And right now, went for the baseball slide. Mark Briscoe able to evade. Briscoe with the wrecking ball drop kick in between the top and middle rope, wiping out Pac on the outside. The deceptively fast nature of Mark Briscoe is also one not to be undermined. And now with the scoopsome on the floor, might be looking to challenge inner Cactus Jack McFoley, who just recently became, of course, All Elite. Bang, bang with the running elbow drop to the Bastard's Black Heart. And next on the outside here, as Mark Briscoe gives the camera a good shaking. And Mark Briscoe, of course, who feuded with MJF earlier last year, prior to the first time being MJF at All Out in, ironically enough, Ohio. It was Cleveland, Ohio. And Mark Briscoe giving Pac a seat in the temporary area. Kicks the midsection, though, and Pac hoisting up Mark Briscoe. Oh, jeez! Red Buster through the chair! As this rage of the contest continues forward tonight at Summer Blockbuster. Stay tuned, we've got another commercial break. Browse on picture. Fuck television. Good grief. Demon Gold head first on the damn chair. He went back first, down on the seat of that chair, literally crumpling it. And falling hard high on the back of his head and neck on the freaking surface of those small pads on the outside to protect the building, not the competitors. Whew. Well, again, to bring people up to speed, Jericho is back, and Tommaso Ciampa, bald, got instigated when Jericho called him Tommy. So it sounds like Jericho and Tommaso Ciampa is not too far away from happening. And Darby Allin has clearly set his sights on the Jet Kevin Knight, looking to ground this Jet once and for all, and probably take his TNT title in the process and embarrass the Don Callis family. Did Don Callis not learn his lesson watching what Darby Allin went through, but did in the end against the entire Death Rider regime and John Moxley? Don Callis, you very well have a very rude omen of a problem going forward for your family. I hope it's worth it. And of course, as we look towards the future, who will challenge MJF? Will it be Andrade Idolo? Will it be Kevin Knight? Will it be Mark Briscoe? Will it be whoever wins this year's Owen Hart Foundation tournament in the finals, if not beforehand? As we know right now, Brody King, Swerve Strickland, and Will Ospreay are still left in this year's men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And of course, Pac, he's also a man that may want the AEW Championship. We just saw him literally challenge for it earlier this year. Hell, the last month against Darby Allin on a damn fairway, might I add. An indoor golf course of all places. That was so much fun, by the way. What a fun hour of wrestling. AEW brings so much fun back to professional wrestling, in my opinion, with their settings and venues and the feel of the TV product in appropriate size, but not feeling too vanilla, to the big-time show feel when it comes to pay-per-views. And I feel like wrestling in itself should escalate that way, where you compete amongst the bigger crowd at the bigger stage. Not every show feels like the same lame-brain LED flatboard game that you get with a DoorDash commercial for Common Sense interrupting a crucial point of action. But again, that's just hindsight for me. Anyway, again, I want to remind you folks, we will be back here, of course, this Saturday, covering Collision, the continuation of the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament, I believe, or Dynamite. Either way, I want to thank everybody that's tuned in for our first time covering the entire Owen Hart Foundation tournaments for the men and the women. Hope you've all enjoyed. If you want to see more of this again, let us know your thoughts at SR Studios 2024. Let us know your outlook in the chat. And let us know your overall reactions to these tournaments down below in the comments section as well. If you haven't already, subscribe to all the YouTube outlets here for the Stable Apple Studios, at Bag for Wrestling, Cassidy Studios, Rage for Wrestling. And again, follow us today at SR Studios 2024 on the X as you all continue to allow the pageant to persist, pursue, and perpetuate. As the violence continues to escalate here, as we are back here at AEW Dynamite Summer Blockbuster with the Bastard Pod taking on Mark Briscoe for the first time ever in singles action, trapping the crazy Kung Fu Chicken Man in a nasty headlock. Mark Briscoe attacking the body, though. MJF right now saying that Mark Briscoe, you will never, ever get a shot at me and the Triple B. Is it insecure? Is it fear? Is it knowing that Mark Briscoe was almost your undoing, if not your reborn? Oh! Or your second coming. What a vicious shot to the side of the neck of Pac. Irish whip reversal. Mark Briscoe sent off the ropes. Drives himself through Pac. Takes him back down. I really got to get into this venue sometimes. I love the look of this double layer seating. Oof. Head and shoulder catcher suplex. Dropping Pac on his head. And right now, Mark Briscoe in the driver's seat. As I welcome you into the All Elite Lounge for the first time ever. As I like to add a little bit of personality to the settings here that we do. Another nasty chop. Uppercut. Modified show tape, whatever you want to call it. Now grabs the arms. Oh! Mark Briscoe. Cross arm on Plex. And 2 count. Iconoclex. Sheesh. Just ripping Pac down from the top turnbuckle with both his arms crossed. Of course, Mark Briscoe, so unorthodox, has so many tools he could beat you with besides his brother's J-Driller. Better serve Plex. Possibly looking maybe, might be feeling a little froggy. And many a times have won matches and World Tag Team titles. Pac rolling away out of the drop zone. Smart move by the bastard. And smart by Briscoe, not necessarily giving Pac room to breathe, but slowly following in. Oh! Gets hung up on the top rope, though, as Pac takes the advantage for the moment. Of course, those ropes are steel cables tunneled to the max. They could literally incapacitate your opponent for a second. Slingshot over the top rope. Big boot driving through Mark Briscoe's head. Briscoe, though, seems unfazed. Look at that wide-eye stare from that crazy chicken man from Sandy Fort, Delaware. Second one, open pawn strike now, and Pac turning another gear in Mark Briscoe's eyes and head. Mark Briscoe battling forward, back for more. Ooh, spinning Solvat. Swift shot to the midsection there. Big boot with Pac on the run in. Now Mark Briscoe on the move. The sidestep, rebound, German suplex. That'll slow Mark Briscoe down for a moment. Woof. Now Briscoe once again caught in the clutches of the bastard as Pac might be looking for another brain buster. Briscoe finding back though, hoisted up again, lands on his feet, able to escape. Weight slap, back elbow strike though. Pac looking for separation, able to break the grip. Now off the ropes again before on the move. Runs to Mark Briscoe's boot. It's Mark, hoist up, Pac, up and over. Good Lord! Ooh! And a nasty landing for both as both men took each other over the top rope with a hard land on the apron to the floor. That could have been devastating to each other's necks. Briscoe again holding on to Pac and Pac holding on to Briscoe when he was seated on the apron. That could have literally broke one of these two men's necks if that didn't end the way it did. That's a dangerous situation to be in. AEW Championship Atlanta proud Mark Briscoe on the move with the running blockbuster off the apron. Good grief. Now bringing Pac inside the ring, go over the cover, hook at the far leg, body press, and Rick Knox gets a 2.5. And Mark Briscoe calling for his next play, going up, baby. It's always dangerous when both men are trapped in each other, going up and over the top rope to the floor. Fucking boom! But hits the knees. Oh no! Into the ribs and the elbow right now. And right now, Pac might be looking to sink the death blow. Look at possible black arrow. Back up to his feet, though, is Mark Briscoe. On the move again. Whoa, man! Overhead throw into the turnbuckles. Nasty landing for Mark Briscoe. Now dragging him out of the corner and Pac going up to the top rope once again. It might be looking to fly tonight and sink the arrow through Mark Briscoe's heart. Steadies himself where he is most known. Shooting star press! But the knees were waiting. Now Briscoe hooking up Pac for the chain driller! And the cover! Hook to their leg! Mark Briscoe wins! Great match by both men for their first time ever singles exhibition as Mark Briscoe continues to prove his value as a candidate towards any championship. And Briscoe with the microphone in hand, maybe we'll learn what he and Tony Khan discussed beforehand. Uh-oh. Mark Briscoe calling MJF again. You said no? You bitch? Damn. Does they not have a direct path? Wait a minute. Mark Briscoe has a direct path to the title shot? Uh-oh! Well, it looks like Mark Briscoe is going to tell MJF exactly what that path is because MJF is in Cincinnati. As AEW Dynamite Summer Blockbuster continues, get ready, folks. The devil will be on your screens following this commercial break on television. Well, overall, though, a good match. And again, Pac continues to show how incredible athlete he is. But again, what does it do for Pac? And we got to see what happens. But I do wonder if Pac does want to go after the AEW World Championship. Huh. Well, either way, I guess we'll wait and see soon enough now, won't we? Anyway, again, as we are now just literally at the hour mark, as I look at the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, there you see the updated brackets, folks. Again, still to come tonight, the women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament continues. Hazuki vs. James Monet will be next week, Wednesday. That'll be the next time we'll be covering, of course, AEW Dynamite, as we'll continue forward covering the Owen Hart Foundation tournament for you. And of course, tonight will mark Skye Blue now versus Maya World. Maya World has taken Saree's place due to the fact she was not medically cleared to compete due to a bad neck. Sareee, I wish you nothing but best recovery. Maya World, God bless you. Nothing but love and strength to you and your family. So Skye Blue now faces a very much more familiar person that she has wrestled before in Maya World, and that person will go on to challenge Athena in the semifinals of this year's Owen Hart Foundation tournament for the women's. Mercedes Monet looks to go 2-0 and maybe go all or nothing once again in Wembley Stadium. Again, for those that don't know, the finals of both tournaments this year will take place at Forbidden Door, which we'll be covering live. And the winner of both tournaments this year will challenge for the respective AEW men and women's world championships at Wembley Stadium at AEW All In. So I hope that you all continue to follow us along for all the coverage. And of course, for the men, we now know Will Ospreay has cleared his way to the finals, and tonight we will learn the other half of that final. It will be either Swerve Strickland, a rematch from Forbidden Door 2 years ago when first Strickland was AEW World Champion, and he beat Will Ospreay that night in the main event, or Brody King will take on the Bruv for the first time ever, I believe, in singles action, and one of those men will purchase their ticket to Wembley Stadium. And so much more still to come tonight at AEW Dynamite Summer Blockbuster as we wait for MJF to arrive in Cincinnati. So what do you all think? Do you think MJF and Mark Briscoe is going to happen at Forbidden Door? If not prior, should it happen after? Could it be a redemption of revenge for that crazy Kung Fu Chicken Man? Just putting it out there. What do you think? Do you think Mark Briscoe could be an AEW World Champion? Would you like to see Mark Briscoe become an AEW World Champion? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Look at the stacked roster on the AEW roster when it comes to who could challenge outside of who confronted already MJF or called out his name. It's crazy to think about how many people can be in this dynamic, in conversation alone for the AEW World title. Speaking of which, we wait back here at AEW Dynamite Summer Blockbuster for the entrance and arrival of MJF. Cut my music, cut my music. It looks like MJF decided to bring his presence to Cincinnati, but where is he? Oh, there he is, up there in the stands. Hey, I respect the Midwest. We're on the champs time. Of course we are. All right. You're not a great listener. I'm the final word in AEW. I am the last time I checked, Tony Khan writes your paycheck. My final word to you. So are you going to title shot? Is no. In this business. The rising tide lifts all ships. MJF calling himself the rising tide of this company. Calling Mark Briscoe just an anchor. MJF saying he's protecting the world title from Mark Briscoe? Give me a break. And now mocking the conglomeration. MJF saying friends enough more than liability. MJF saying that's the most important thing in the world, money. And money talks. And oh no! And it looks like MJF put a hit on Mark Briscoe with the lethal swirl, paying them to beat down probably the most annoying possible challenger to the Triple B in the AEW World title, as Jay Lethal, Lee Johnson, and Blake Christian looking for the lethal injection. Oh, and Mark Briscoe firing him off, though. That's it. He's felt the sting of that lethal injection multiple times in his long Ring of Honor career. MJF in disbelief right now as Mark Briscoe fights off the lethal twist, putting the boots to Blake Christian and Lee Johnson and Jay Lethal. Well, Mark Briscoe, hell-bent, Potts looking for the J-Drum. Oh, but Lee Johnson super kick. It's just 3-on-1, though. The numbers are too much. Again, there's nothing right now Mark Briscoe can do. The winner, conglomeration! Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, Itchy, my boy! Stone Pitbull, block! Watch out, Lyra with a running lariat. And Orange Cassidy just walking his way gracefully to the ring. The Strong Slam, Olympic Slam to Blake Christian by Roderick Strong. Well, MJF, you might have money that could beat down a man, but it's hard to beat down a man when he actually has friends. Oh, Mark Briscoe had something to say. Like I said, I know something you don't know, man. You be honest right here. You're not the boss. You're just an asshole. Accurate. You're gonna need sons of friends of people, whatever. Because I told the boss, Tony Khan, we need a minute. At Forbidden Door. He said, Mark, you find 5 people. You gotta find 5 people. We gotta do 6-on-6. If your team wins, Mark gets a guaranteed title shot. Wow. But that's not it. Tony Khan's the boss. Damn right. A real boss. That's what he is. We're going to do all that. In a steel cage! Team MJF versus Team Mark Briscoe 6-on-6 in a steel cage. And Mark Briscoe says, find somebody, you little bitch. And meanwhile, MJF, with all the pressure of the world around his waist, preferably on his shoulders, as another man might be looking for the gold around his waist. Andrade El Idolo now coming into the fray as we get ready for our next match. But wow, what an announcement. Team MJF versus Team Mark Briscoe 6-on-6 inside a steel cage after being enduring. If Team Mark Briscoe wins, Mark Briscoe gets a guaranteed shot at the AEW World Championship. The prowess just continued to mount higher and higher for everyone's favorite scumbag here. You see Don Callis right now, who also promised Andrade Idolo, you'll get your world title shot as well. And of course, the Agglomeration have also been at the odds and with the Don Callis family, using what he called his money man for his own dirty deeds and dubious schemes. And a real Latino man. And of course, the current IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, who will be defending that title, by the way, at Dominion in a triple threat against Drew Maloney and Shota Umino as the Agglomeration leaves ringside, as this is a one-on-one contest, a unique one-on-one exhibition with a former multiple-time AEW International Champion. And Don Kaj joining the announced test here. About to say, everyone says what a disgusted look on their face anytime you show up. Clearly, Don Callis right now doesn't know which pony to put his freaking house and well-being on at this point. Save. And went for the pockets. Waistlock applied here. Andrade Idolo, who's been on quite a hot streak as of late here in AEW. Looking positive for the pockets. Andrade going for the possible Snapdragon. Orange Cassidy trying to escape it. First number one-on-one matchup here, by the way, with these two. Of course, last time these two shared the ring was over the AEW Trios Championships on Collision, and the conglomeration was able to retain back in April at Playoff Palooza. The unorthodox sloth style. Orange Cassidy engaging it slowly, though. Went for the boot. Orange Cassidy cuts the boot, turns Andrade around, pushes him off the ropes, and Andrade, tranquilo. Tranquilo versus sloth style. Which one's stronger to you, folks? Oh, wait. And Andrade, says no to the pockets. But to say, at the end of the day, an employee is not stronger than their boss. Now, Cassidy unzipping the pockets of Andrade. Does he want Andrade to put his hands in his pockets, maybe? Pocket on pocket style? Or maybe looking for maybe a test of strength here. Mind games being put in play here by Orange Cassidy's done in so many matches. Grabs the wrist. But wait a minute, Andrade. Uh-oh. Ladies are about to get a show here from a real Latino man, it looks like. And there go the pants. And that lady got up immediately when that happened. Well, so much for pockets. And Andrade with his hands up in the air. Daring Orange Cassidy lift his hands up and down. What the hell? Wait a second! Orange Cassidy with his own pants tricks. He had pants on pants. What? I've never seen that before by Orange Cassidy in my life. Again, the mental warfare of the King of Sloth style. Oh, that is beyond brilliant. Andrade just got one up in the pants off department. Wait. And hands in the pockets, Orange Cassidy engaged. Andrade hoisting up Orange Cassidy on the top. I've never seen that before. Pants on pants. All right, then. Whoa! Take over to Harris with the hands in the pockets, and Orange Cassidy on the move with the hands fully inside, up and around. Take over to Harris again, and Andrade taking all out sorts here. Orange Cassidy now with the running drop kick, sends Andrade to the outside. And Orange Cassidy, man, such a dynamic individual of his own style. On the move, Andrade, though, looking to meet him, swinging to miss. Rolls underneath the clothesline. Went for the drop kick. Andrade, able to scout it, though. Able to get the legs. Possibly going to step over, figure 4 leg lock. Oh, man, and pushed off. Glides face first in the top turnbuckle. Orange Cassidy can make anybody look absolutely stupid in the ring. When you think that Orange Cassidy isn't serious, it's amazing what in-ring IQ Orange Cassidy can bring. Back elbow strike. Stops Andrade, drops into a knee. Now Cassidy, what's he thinking here? Going up to the second. Andrade. Oh, man, nasty fall to the outside. Back first to the apron and nasty landing on the floor. And this unique, and I do mean unique, exhibition. See the formula tonight. Continues in Restaurant Clive Brazo picture. Fuck television. Pants on pants. I've never seen Orange Cassidy rip off his pants just to show another pair of the exact same pants underneath it. What the hell? I thought Taiji was the king of the pants off. Literally, but I guess I was wrong. Oh my gosh, that is beyond ridiculous. Anyway. I need it. Again, AEW gives me everything and then some. 6 on 6, though. Good grief. That's a hell of a clusterfuck. I can say that now because we're over the hour mark. Anyway, again, folks, after this, still to come tonight, Brody King versus Swerve Strickland to determine our finals for this year's men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And Sky Blue takes on Maya World in the quarterfinals to see who takes on Athena. So I hope you continue to follow along with us here tonight at AEW Summer Blockbuster. And of course, we'll be back here next week covering Dynamite with the other half of the semifinals on the women's side. Of course, Suzuki will be taking on Mercedes Monet, and we have still yet to see whether Athena takes on Sky Blue or Maya World. Greatest student, also former victim of the Ring of Honor, former Women's World Champion, and of course, Sky Blue back in her Genesis days before she went dark and surrendered to madness. Of course, defeated by Athena back when she was just a Chicago Tom girl. This is fun. Now, Orange Cassidy, of course, like I said, 1/3 of the AEW World Trios champions alongside the conglomeration. The conglomeration. It's such a unique word, by the way. Conglomeration. Just conglomerate. We conglomerate and participate. We don't try to instigate. Again, I'm not an MC. I'm not Mark Briscoe. I'm just a simple man, a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it. Andrade, like I said, current global heavyweight champion, IWGP, of course, beating Yota Tsuji. Shout out to Stampede and, of course, the advocate of Inokiism, by the way, on the X. Defeating them for that title. And, of course, be defending that in a triple threat against Shota Umino, who is still looking for his first piece of gold in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And Judah Maloney, of course, of Unbound Company. Again, folks, Dominion, by the way, that is exclusively on NWWorld.com. That is actually this weekend on June 14th. And my crazy butt might be covering it. So stay tuned for more on that. Of course, headlined by Kyle Newman defending IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Yota Tsuji, the Gene Blast. It's a real Latino man. Took Yota Tsuji's only other championship that he had. Of course, the Global Heavyweight Championship is for invaders and outsiders to be defended against in the name of New Japan Pro Wrestling. As we are back here at All Elite Wrestling Summer Blockbuster, as Orange Cassidy and Andrade Idolo continue to duke it out of the ring, rising knee strike by Andrade. Cassidy been trying to fight up the world, and Andrade continuing his winning ways since losing to Darby Allin back at Dynasty in April. Up and over, Orange Cassidy lands on the apron. And face first goes Andrade top turnbuckle. Don Callis, who has Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Kevin Knight, and Andrade Idolo, all with championship ambitions in the Don Callis family that involve the AEW World Championship or the AEW International Championship. Well, primarily Kyle Fletcher's involved in that now with Portasha no longer a thing. Rip. Well, there's 3 chairs in that building. I just noticed that. Oh, man. Comes up the top rope with the flying clothesline. Up and around, looking for the tornado DDT. Andrade hooking up Orange Cassidy, catching with a German suplex, holding on to the head. Of course, control the head, control the body. Pops the hips, throw him over. There's the second. And might be looking to channel one of the all-time greats, of course, in, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero, looking for the trifecta. Eddie chants it out loud and proud as we look for the Tres Amigos and turn into a stun dominator. Don't ever try to suplex Orange Cassidy more than once. Where are people going to learn? Now, Orange Cassidy, for those that don't know, despite the fact he might look like someone you literally would just see lounging about in a beach chair in your backyard, years of in-ring experience, by the way, folks. He's been involved in this business for 22 years. And right now, Orange Cassidy, one of the most unique individuals, one of the highest match rates of work here in AEW. Andrade hoisting up Cassidy in a nasty suplex on the floor. And Andrade right now saying that he outsmarted Orange Cassidy there. Might have got the better of pockets there for the moment. And it looks like, oh, hello. The lovely lady at ringside here. And it looks like Andrade might be given a lovely in-thing fan attendance, a selfie. Andrade, again, giving the people what they want. And right now, Andrade, a real Latino man for all the women. Oh, there's Cassidy diving to the outside, wiping him out. And back of Andrade's head hit the safety rail, and Orange Cassidy now eyeing that young fan. And Oh, Lord. Then Leo Rush with the phone in hand. And Leo Rush right now, who has definitely freaked out Orange Cassidy in the past. Girl, you might want to just get a new phone. And Orange Cassidy, I would not get any closer to Leo Rush if I were you. Orange Cassidy reluctantly giving Leo Rush the selfie. Oh, gosh! Andrade wiping on Orange Cassidy the barricade. And Leo Rush again playing a difference maker. Leo asking Andrade for the selfie now. This. How you know? How you know? Who knows? I don't know. How you know? Leo Rush asking him, I know. What the fuck was that? That was the most bizarre thing I've seen all week in wrestling. Up and around the top of the world, tornado DDT by Orange Cassidy and Andrade on the floor. Nick, you don't know jack, but you probably own the game, all right? You got half a brain. Never mind, I'm not going there in the DCW trope on you. It's too early in the week. But also, shout out to Nick Ferrante in the chat. Hope you're doing okay, bro. And hope the Miss is doing okay as well. How do you know? How does anyone know? Folks, how do you know? I want to know. Anyway, never mind. That's a question that's more bizarre than the Tootsie Pop question. And Andrade splitting the uprights of Orange Cassidy. Right on his huevos. AEW were the most unique, dynamic, bizarre athletes actually wrestle. Keyword, wrestle. And I'm guessing that woman got her phone back. And where did Leo Rush go? I mean, again, Don Callis, how you know? Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Andrade Idolo, and Andrade on the move looking for the double knees in the corner. And win the Velocity cover, put the far leg and a 2 count, says referee Bryce Rensburg. Man, full throttle with those knees, fast and furious. Andrade was like on delay there with that freaking velocity. And right now, Orange Cassidy on the back seat. And looking for the DM. Orange Cassidy able to escape, though. Takeover Harris sits in the cover. Holding the far leg. And kick out at 2. Swing and a miss. Oh, man. Eats a back elbow. Andrade on the move again. Oh, what a right hand. Wiping him out of the run-in. And both men down. Oh, that was a haymaker and a half. That wasn't an orange punch. That was just a stiff knockout shot with pulp. Woo! Crowd chant, this is awesome. Jumping Bryce Rensburg starting his 10 count. And I agree, this is awesome. This is professional wrestling. This is all elite wrestling. This is AEW Dynamite Summer Blockbuster in the continuing feuds and what is for the AEW World Championship in the Don Callis family and their endeavors. Andrade and Orange right now fighting on the knees, and Andrade with the vicious overhead shots. Big elbow strike by Andrade to Orange Cassidy. You know what I know? Manitoba will not be getting an AEW in 2026. How do you know? How you know? We still have the rest of the year left, bruv. And Orange Cassidy with the most lethal overhead palm strikes to Andrade El Idolo, just putting it all in. Oh, boy, the elbow turns Orange Cassidy around sideways. And, of course, almost one of the things. Oh! Big super kick dropped Andrade to his knees. Almost like Orange Cassidy wants you to hit him harder. Just front kick dropped Andrade to his knees. Once again, though, up the second rope, Andrade, almost lost his footing. And possibly looking to horn Orange Cassidy up the second for Spanish Fly, but taking over the outside. And now, Orange Cassidy seeing Andrade laid out on the ramp, and Orange Cassidy, he might be going at risk. Off the second, just trying to find his positioning. And Orange Cassidy almost slipping, jumping off, looking for the implant DDT on the ramp. And Andrade rolling back inside, not on his own accord. And Orange Cassidy going up to the top rope. Don Callis might have a sense of urgency here. Orange Cassidy scouting Andrade, looking for another implant DDT. Cover 2. No. Andrade able to kick out. Ooh, man. Nasty landing on Andrade's head there with that fall DDT inside the ring. LL, no, sucks for Winnipeg. Good thing we don't know anyone in Manitoba, Canada, or else that would suck. How you know? And Orange Cassidy right now looking for that orange punch. And if you're not careful, Nick, a bat's going to punch you proverbially in the face sooner rather than later. If she continues forward in professional development and officially achieves the highest degree of it, where she has that free time. Andrade on the verge of standing up, might be walking to Orange punch. Oh, that back elbow strike. Buenos noches, knocking Orange Cassidy out, hooking him up. DM connects. Sudden impact. The cover. Andrade El Idolo wins. And a 1-2 combo by Andrade El Idolo, knocking Orange Cassidy's lights out. That sudden fake out big boot into that lethal spinning back elbow. And the DM for the exclamation point. Andrade continues his winning ways towards his pursuits for the AEW World title. That was a hell of a match, though. Again, Orange Cassidy giving Andrade El Idolo a run for his money. And it looks like Andrade El Idolo is going to seize the microphone. I highly doubt Andrade will fight on MJF's side at Forbidden Door. Let's see what the real Latino man has to say. Ooh. I have a question. How you know? How you know? How you know? Is that the question? How you know? Get that trending on X, folks. Hashtag how you know. How you know? I'm going to start using that from now on with people. How you know? A man of his own convictions here, Andrade El Idolo with a great win tonight on AEW Dynamite. Of course, still to come tonight are our Owen Hart Foundation Tournament matches. I don't know if that sounds true. Andrade fears Sabarano Jr. Well, maybe we'll find out if that's true or not at AEW Grand Slam Mexico. As we go back backstage after Wednesday Night Dynamite last week, where Ospreay fought a war against the entire world of Don Callis to punch his ticket to the finals at Forbidden Door. Man, that was a meaty, lethal bout with Mark Davis. Ospreay saying there's nothing that's going to stop him from going to Wembley Stadium and becoming the AEW World Champion. Is it Ospreay's year? Will he become the ace of All Elite Wrestling? Is his last chance? Oh! Mrs. Bruv, Alex Windsor embracing her husband. Yeah, you're going to imagine how Alex Windsor feels, though, considering the fact she was eliminated. And Ospreay saying, yeah, he's been there. What a beautiful sight it would be to see Mr. and Mrs. Bruv, both as world champions. But for Alex Windsor, it won't be this year. A tough loss last week for Alex Windsor against the CEO, Mercedes Moné, for as we learned next week, Wednesday, Mercedes Moné will take on Hazuki in the semifinals of this year's Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament after Hazuki was able to best Persephone with the Maki Straw Cradle. As still to come tonight, Skye Blue looks to punch her ticket forward towards what she believes is finally hers in their first ever Owen Hart Foundation Tournament win, taking on Maya World. As, of course, we look at the current state of the madness and toxicity that Thekla has introduced into All Elite Wrestling, holding the AEW Women's World Championship and declaring death on Stardom and her former employer and president, Kario Okada, who fired her last year in April. And Thekla has not forgotten. As far as I know, Kario Okada is supposed to be at Forbidden Door, by the way, too. So it might be a very rude homecoming for Thekla to Stardom with the assist of AEW. Coming up next, Skye Blue goes one-on-one with Maya World, looking to rock her world tonight as Skye Blue looks to choke out Maya World and punch her to get closer to Forbidden Door. Well, again, my heart goes out to Alex Windsor. I would have loved to see Alex Windsor and freaking Will Ospreay win the tournaments this year, but it is what it is. And as far as MJF goes, when it comes to who could take the title, MJF, how you know? Well, that was still an awesome match, though, with freaking Orange Cassidy and Leo Rush. Woo, that guy gives me the willies. All right. Well, coming up next, as I point out for those that are just now tuning in, Skye Blue goes one-on-one Maya World. Again, unfortunately, due to Saree's condition of her neck, she has not been medically cleared, and Maya World chose to do this. So nothing but prayers of strength recovery to Saree and love and strength to Maya World with the recent accident that her family, of course, faced in someone's passing. And I'm just going to leave it at that. A lot of wholesome, heartfelt situations right now in AEW to really look at the humility of humanity for, much like the rebel heart of Rebel Tania that fights ALS and champions support for research and, of course, recovery efforts for it. All right. Well, as we got a moment to breathe, again, I thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Follow us today at SR Studios 2024. And as we have a momentary interlude, I'm going to give you all a taste of what's to come, even though it's a little bit out of date, here at the Simply Reliable Studios. And I'll see you on the other side of this short commercial break. Oh, by the way, fuck television. But I'll still be back here shortly with all of you. So stay tuned. Did you delete the trailer? Oh, wow, he did. Well, that's on him. Botched by the Renegade. I was going to play a trailer to show stuff, but it's not in here, so we're not going to worry about it. Oh, well, fuck it. Who cares? Honestly, sometimes that commercial bores me, too, because it ends with this freaking Saudi Mania crap, and I can give two shits less about that. What I do care about, though, is, of course, the tournaments that are going on that hopefully lead to the future of the business actually being pushed forward, not only in presenting them, but also elevating them towards maybe World Championship contention. And pretty much in AEW, I feel there's much more potential in that. As, of course, we now know, Skye Blue, Maya Werb, Mercedes Arizuki will challenge the current AEW Women's World Championship at All In if it's still Thekla. But, of course, we haven't been indoor. And we also have Redemption. And of course, for the men, it's either Brody King, Strickland, or Will Ospreay, who will challenge MJF if he's still AEW World Champion by AEW All In after we find out the next challenger for Forbidden Door, and also see if he can survive someone else's chance at Redemption. To go backstage to Jon Moxley, uh-oh. Oh, no. But why not with your pride? Oh, Trish? Here, can a hammer, a crowbar? I'm gonna rip you and your boys in half. Got an idea? On Collision, right in Cincinnati. 5-on-5 street fight. Hope you chose your friends wisely. Shane Taylor, your friend just followed you straight to hell. A bold statement and a bold challenge thrown out by the Death Riders as Jon Moxley looks for blood in Cincinnati, calling out Shane Taylor Promotions in a 5-on-5 street fight this coming Saturday on Collision. Again, as we heard earlier, Will Ospreay looks to achieve a dream for his country of Wembley Stand. But who will look to spoil that dream at Forbidden Door? Will it be Swerve Strickland or will it be Brody King? And of course, Athena, who of course is looking to turn to Athena Elite Wrestling, while Thekla is looking to kill Stardom. Hazuka and Mercedes Moné still remain live in this tournament as Athena waits for her opponent. And we're going to find that out next because it's time for Skye Blue to take on Maya World. And of course, this opening round matchup is happening right now. Skye Blue was very vocal on Renee Paquette's close-up, by the way, that she believes she has shown the incredible growth needed to finally rise to the throne and win her first Owen Hart Foundation tournament, and then seize the AEW Women's World title. Looking to be the face of AEW. Only further strengthened by her connection with the Triangle of Madness with Julia Hart. It looks like Skye Blue had some words earlier today regarding this matchup. Yeah, basically, Thekla mocking Sareee. And Thekla saying the Triangle Takeover has begun. Julia Hart saying you don't need my help as Skye Blue channels her inner queen tonight, it looks like, with this getup. Ready for this contest, Aubrey Edwards as the violent girl looks to choke out the it girl. Maya World. Here we go. Very courageous. Maya World stepping up to the occasion here in this opportunity, willingly on a 3-match winning streak, of course, and coming off survival of the fittest as Supercard of Honor, the last woman, by the way, eliminated as we go to Renee Paquette with the sports highlights on the outside. Talking about, of course, the loss to her younger brother. And wow. In order for her brother to swan, that's what this match is for, because it was her brother that brought her forward to this love of professional wrestling, and that's why she does it. And again, Sareee was not medically cleared to compete tonight. Skye Blue immediately on the attack with a boot to the face. Skye Blue coming off, of course, an injury herself. Now has, of course, metal braced inside her ankle. But imagine how it feels like being part cyborg at this point. Big opportunity for Maya World. Sometimes when a vacancy is presented, opportunity is there. It's a unique matchup, though, by the way. I wasn't expecting this at all, but I like this dynamic. And Maya World right now squaring off here against Skye Blue, a referee for this contest. Aubrey Edwards. Fans, of course, applauding Maya World for, of course, wrestling here tonight and sending out their condolences. As people are still talking about AEW, using the hashtag AEW Dynamite. Skye Blue on the run with the elbow. Of course, we're seeing Skye Blue. I've said she was born violent out of the womb, involved in the first ever women's playing. God, what a rolling kick by Maya World. Squaring up and hanging with TBS champions and AEW Women's World Champions, of course, multiple times in and out of hardcore encounters like Timeless Tony Storm, like Chris Statlander, and like Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale, of course, had to vacate her spot. That led to Mercedes Monet coming back. Question mark kick by Maya World against Skye Blue's back of her head and neck across the bottom rope. Skye Blue, former Warrior Wrestling Women's Champion, AAW Women's Champion, coming out of the Chicago area. And Skye Blue running through Maya World, wiping her out with that running lariat. And now just teeing off here, unleashing that violence that's been channeled, only further encouraged by her time to turn on match. Referee Aubrey Edwards pulling her off. You can tell that Skye Blue is absolutely driven through this viciousness more than ever this year, particularly. When you feel like that Thekla, her, and Julia Hart right now are trying to be the forefront of what really feels like an open vacancy in the AEW Women's Division, left out, voided by Timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Monet's time away. And Willow Nightingale has been the smiling face of TBS and AEW all along the way. Chris Statlander, who just lost her EVE International Championship, will be coming back soon, I'm sure, from London after her feud with Hikaru Shida. Wondering what's next for a stat. Suplex cover, hook at the far leg. It's a 1 count on Maya World. Last time Skye Blue and Maya World shared a ring together, it was a tag match, actually, at World's End. The Sisters of Sin, of course, beat High End and Maya World in a short pre-match affair. Last year during the 0 hour. They've never met each other before that match. And Maya World, disciplined by Athena out of MPX, and has previously challenged Athena, home of her 10 minutes straight in the Proving Ground, and has challenged for the Ring of Honor Women's World Championship twice. Up with the fireman's carry, elbows to the side of the head of Skye Blue. Maya World able to get some space. And Skye, runs into the boots of Maya World, catching her out of the corner. Skye Blue now looking for a little bit of a reprieve, now up in the entranceway. And Maya, caught with a rising knee. I think that Skye Blue's been involved with this now for 10 years at her young age. It's crazy. And now Skye looking to hook up Maya World for the draping, swinging neck breaker on the ramp as this Owen Hart Foundation Tournament quarterfinals match continue. Will Maya choke or will Maya breathe and succeed? Stay tuned. That's when this continues. Fuck television. Jeez. I thought she was going to go for the draping DDT and instead turned into a swinging net breaker on that hard ramp. That was actually quite clever. And Skye Blue again, folks, only 26 years of age and has already been involved in this business for over a decade. And I think it was just, honestly, her parents that encouraged her to become a professional wrestler. And it was the violence side, where she looked at the behavior that goes beyond the normal here and is more encouraged in this day and age, especially in all elite wrestling. And Jon Moxley being one of her greatest influences. Go figure. Like I said, born hardcore out of the womb. And Maya World, of course, only 23 years of age, involved in this business now for a little bit over 4 years. It Girl, of course, current VIP Women's Champion, two-time VIP Women's Champion. And, of course, is a former Reality of Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champion, influenced by Bugatti. Alongside of the Spark, Jada Stone, when they were called Spark the World. It would be really a swerve to see Maya World advance, but based on continuity with Athena, I could see it happening because, again, Athena and Maya World, they know each other so well. Athena trained Maya World. Maya World is the only proven ground match that Athena could not beat before the 10-minute count. And she was also the last one pinned the survival of the fittest. If Billy Starks is in the most greatest chance for the Ring of Honor World Championship to be removed from Athena's waist, Maya World might be the actual case now that I think about it, looking at the long-term history of those two now. But then again, I honestly wonder if Athena's ever going to lose that Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. And until she does, I still don't think she's going to win this year's Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament, despite the fact she has a very much realistic chance, knowing that if she beats whoever wins tonight, she's in the finals of this year's tournament. Of course, last year, she lost in the quarterfinals to Mercedes Moné, who would challenge Suzuki on AEW Dynamite next week. So, again, jury is out. I really don't know. Skye Blue, of course, who I remember seeing her dark match against Nyla Rose in Cincinnati, ironically enough, before she became All Elite, who showed up during a casino gauntlet match, of all places, Chicago, a few years ago at AEW All Out, and has been part of AEW and making her own violent creation out of herself ever since. Only heavily influenced by that Black Miss by Julia Hart. To think, both Julia Hart and Skye Blue came into these happy-go-lucky, we're happy to be here, let's go, team spirit type attitudes. Fuck that baby-ass teen-rated Barbie shit. I'm so glad both of them found a violent edge to each other. Rolling out with the elbow here as Skye Blue clocks Maya World. And the snapmare as this match continues for the Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. Our last quarterfinals match, by the way, cover. Hook of the far leg. Gets a 2 count off that thrust kick. And Skye Blue, of course, coming off to us with an all-sports background. Didn't really matter what sport she was in. She just wanted to be the most competitive, most intense, and the most good at it. Jawbreaker there by Maya World, trying to create separation. Of course, trained out of the Premier Academy by Randy Ricco. And Maya World teeing off against Skye Blue, turning her around. A waist slap, back elbow strike, possibly looking for the German suplex. Skye on the move. Maya World, Cazadora, traps the legs, and rolls through into the double stomp. And Maya World looking to make the most of this opportunity, considering to make glory from tragedy that struck her family, only furthering empowering herself tonight and why she pursued this and why she loves professional wrestling. The waist lock applied. Skye Blue now trying to hoist Maya World. Both of these women in the standing switch exchange. Back elbow. Went for the pump kick. Another rising knee strike. Caught underneath the jaw. You got Maya right there. Swing and a miss. Maya World though. Sent Skye Blue. German suplex with a bridge. 2 kick out by Skye. Oof. Again, the positioning, the fundamentals are keys, and the hips, of course, being below versus above was the elevation that Skye Blue needed. Less pressure on that hold allowed Skye Blue to kick out. Now going up to the second rope. The key thing about the normalized suplex or any suplex on the bridge, you have to have your hips below your opponent. Oh, man. Or, excuse me, right elbow, your opponent. That way you have a stronger hold. Running powerbomb, sitting in the middle of the ring, and Skye nearly advances. Gets a 2 count on Maya World. Wow. Maya landed hard there, and Skye Blue on the run. Looking for the running knee strike. Maya World catching the knee, coming in. Skye Blue slapping a taste out of Maya's mouth. And Maya hoisting up Skye. Beautiful bridging suplex pin. Kick out at 2 again. Almost a faraway slam into a bridging pin. Didn't let her go. Oh, a shining wizard. Running knee strike cover, up the far leg side, puts that 2 count on Skye. Wow. For somebody that literally had this opportunity presented her just today, it seems like, Maya World is making the most of her minutes and chances here tonight on AEW Dynamite. Dueling chance here for both these incredible young female athletes here, looking to punch their ticket to the forbidden door and possibly a dream to achieve at Wembley Stadium. Big elbow strike here. And Maya World entering in kind of both of these women right now exchanging in the center. Might be a shootout here in Cincinnati. Able to literally grit her teeth. Skye Blue answering in kind though with the elbow. Maya World in kind. Rolling elbow stretch connects by Maya, turning Skye Blue around. Oh! Another thrust kick by Skye though. Looking for the Snapdragon. Maya able to escape. Once again, blocking the kick with the arm drag. Oh! It's a Guri. Rock Skye Blue, the waist lock, and another German suplex release. Skye Blue back up to her feet. And runs through at the knee on instinct and both women down. Leaving it all out here tonight for the chance to go all in potentially this year. Ooh. That was smart for Skye to actually land off the suplex and just run forward with that knee, finally connecting here. And of course, Athena, I wonder if she has a preferred choice here. Who's more vulnerable for her to beat? Who is more easier for her to overcome? Who is her easy pass to the finals in her own ridiculous, wicked mind? Skye Blue out of the move. Maya World looking for the schoolgirl roll up. Gets a 1 count. And Skye follows through. But again, Maya World catching Skye. Deep roll up with the bridge. Gets a 1 count again. Trying to start their opponent. And again, caught with another thrust kick drop to her knees. And another kick by Skye Blue. Just teeing off against Maya World. And might be looking to send her down with the Skyfall. Oh! Down with the TKO. Cover. Hook for leg. Kick out 2.5 by Maya. A lot of heart, a lot of toughness, a lot of resilience here demonstrated by the It Girl against the Violent Girl. And Skye Blue showing signs of frustration. And once again, Skye looking to come back. Might be looking to go cold blue. Maya World able to escape. Catching Skye. Now Maya, deep roll up. Jackknife cover. And got her! Maya World, what an upset! Wow! Maya World just shocked the world! Jackknife takeover! Skye Blue eliminated! And Maya World is in the semifinals! She will face Athena! 1-on-1 for a ticket to Forbidden Door! That's incredible! But Skye Blue, again, her entire world plummets. But still, one more match to come here tonight with a shocking upset. Could we be in for another violent upset? Swerve Strickland goes 1-on-1 with Brody King. But seriously, though, wow, congratulations to Maya World. That is beyond insane. As we fast approach Forbidden Door, and of course, an open door policy, we all talk about the greatness of all the wrestlers from all these brands coming through to challenge themselves against AEW's best. Last year, we saw Nigel McGuinness take Zack Sabre Jr. to a peak technical limit for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, a mainstay for New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Bloody Techers. As Zack Sabre Jr. looks to go for that Forbidden Door one more time, and this time challenge himself against the best bout machine, the Cleaner! Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door? What? Whoa. Kenny Omega apparently knew this challenge was coming. And apparently, folks, it's official! For the first time ever in All Elite Wrestling history, Kenny Omega goes 1-on-1 with Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. Yeah, you might want to pray for us there, Nick. How's that for a Canadian connection? Taking on UK's best. Dickhead. Well, I got my must-see match for that weekend. I don't give a damn about anything else. And speaking of which, Kenny Omega will be in singles action this Saturday against TMDK's Bad Dude Tito. Kenny Omega getting a bit of a warm-up here. Again, we'll watch that, of course, on HBO Max. But, of course, now we prepare for our main event. On a night where we heard so much from the Don Callis family, how you'll know. Andrade, Kevin Knight, all want MJF's title. Team MJF versus Team Mark Briscoe in Forbidden Door, 6-on-6 steel cage match where Team Mark Briscoe wins. Mark Briscoe gets a guaranteed AEW World Title shot. War has been declared by Shintaro Promotions to John Moxley to retain the Continental Championship, forcing Shintaro to tap out. But after that cheap assault, now we have a freaking street fight this Saturday on Collision with the Death Riders and Shintaro Promotions. Chris Jericho returned and confronted Tommaso Ciampa, bald, called him Tommy, and an instigated brawl broke out. Mark Briscoe was able to overcome the Bastard Pac. Orange Cassidy got dropped by Andrade and Idolo, and Leo Rush still haunts him, and honestly, I'm not surprised by that. And as we just saw, due to the fact that Sareee was unable to complete, Maya World took the opportunity up as an empowerment to her and her brother and her family and just punched her ticket to the semifinals. It's now Maya World versus Athena. And next week, of course, will be Hazuka versus Mercedes Moné as we determine the overall finals for this year's Men's and Women's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. On another fun night of Wednesday Night Delight that is Dynamite, where I've had so much fun doing this for y'all once again. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Head of this commercial break, fuck television. It all comes down to this. It's time to determine this year's finals for the Men's Owen Hart Foundation Tournament, as Swerve Strickland once again goes violent with Brody King. And as we just heard, for those that just now tune in, Zack Sabre Jr. has caught up the cleaner, Kenny Omega, a man he's never faced one-on-one, but needs to do this for himself to prove who truly is the absolute best. For the first time ever in one-on-one action, it's Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door. But before we get there, it's main event time on Dynamite. Shortly after this commercial break concludes. Again, fuck television. And it looks like the chat's already buzzing about. Yeah, holy shit. Damn, Kenny versus that. Take my money. Take all the professional wrestling. Only at AEW. Well, we're the best wrestle. And of course, Safet, definitely watch Forbidden Door. And of course, we will be watching Forbidden Door here live and a bunch of other stuff during that weekend. But also stay tuned, as we not only will be watching it, we will be simply predicting, as I will give you 4 simply predictions that week and 4 different prediction forms across all 4 of these leagues. So stay tuned. We simply predict NXT, the Great American Bash, AEW Forbidden Door, TNA Slammiversary. Does TNA still have a saving grace? And WWE's Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, where Roman wins and Cody Rhodes, Nepo Baby, QB1. And again, we will see what happens as these tournaments continue and the season of summer wrestling continues to unfold. All the way through this weekend with Dominion in New Japan Pro Wrestling ahead of the G1 Climax. As we look towards AEW's redemption and someone's maybe ascension at All In, all passing through the Forbidden Door. But for now, as the summer blockbuster reaches its epic climax, and we go backstage with the entire Don Callis family, all the gold, the talents, all the part, and MJF, oh boy. MJF having a quick talk with Don Callis, it looks like. Might be looking to recruit for his team. 6-on-6 cage match. And pick 5 people. And if his team wins, he gets a world title shot. So MJF trying to make a big money deal with the Don Callis family. Seems like a pin. That's a lot of money in that briefcase. Wait a minute. MJF already paying into the Don Callis man. Kyle Fletcher seizing the money out of the briefcase. And Kevin Knight trying to make a money deal here, saying he'll be part of MJF's team if and only if he gets a shot at the World Championship. MJF literally making a one-time deal with Kevin Knight, join the team, and if they win, he'll get the title shot. But next time they get a title shot, that will be his last title shot if he loses. And Andrade, I don't know how he feels about that. Look at that death stare of Don Callis. That's a lot of money. Andrade grabbing Don Callis' shoulder. But what about my title shot? Yeah, remember Don Callis? You promised Andrade. Don Callis giving Andrade his word. Andrade, how you know? Well, that being said, while Don Callis continues to make deals with devils and Lucifers and his family on the verge of collapsing, it is now officially main event time on Dynamite. Oh boy, this is going to be violent, and that's putting it politely, in the most oxymoron way possible, simply. Swerve Strickland, as I said, winning the Forbidden Door back in 2024 as the AEW World Champion, and the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament winner of that year, Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, was Swerve Strickland's undoing of his dynasty. Ever since Swerve Strickland made the business for himself, Renee Paquette gives the sports highlights, saying that he needs this, and he's been refocused on only one thing: himself and the AEW World Title. Oh boy. Aubrey, you're in for a rough night if you're not careful once again, because Swerve Strickland is willing to bend those rules to the point they might break. And Renee Paquette giving us a bit of forewarning as dangerous, the most dangerous man in AEW, Swerve Strickland, might be looking to go as dangerous as needed to punch his ticket to Forbidden Door in the finals of the Owen Hart Foundation Tournament. We saw how lethal things got back at Double or Nothing when Swerve Strickland punched his ticket to the semifinals at the expense of Brody King's brother, Brody, of course, former Double Tag Team Champions, Bandito, to the point he may have crippled the Ring of Honor World Champion to dropping him on his head and neck with a cop killer and a lethal freaking house call for the victory. And of course, Brody King punched his way to the semifinals, overcoming Claudio Castagnoli, a man that beat him in last year's Continental Classic. And Swerve Strickland already has a win over Brody King after beating him earlier this year at Revolution. Get ready, folks, for a very violent feature presentation tonight at Summer Blockbuster in Cincinnati. And of course, both of these men know what's ahead after the night. Will Ospreay, a very familiar friend and foe to Swerve Strickland. Not as familiar, though, to Brody King. Now just hoisted up in the corner. Big, bad, mean, heavy, hard-hitting Brody King. And there you see it, folks. Steel cage match again, as we heard earlier, 6-on-6. Both MJF and Mark Briscoe need to pick 5 other people. If Team Mark Briscoe wins, he gets a future AEW World Championship match guaranteed. As MJF just made a deal with the Don Callis family with a briefcase full of money, and also, and this maybe Kevin Knight, where if Team MJF wins, Kevin Knight will get one last shot at the AEW World Championship. But if he loses, he will never challenge for the AEW World title again as long as MJF is holding it. And right now, Dragon Swerve over the top rope to the entranceway in the same way he choked out MJF and Darby Allin as Brody King sent first in the top rope. Swerve Strickland again, though, so dangerous and knows how to use every single part of his surroundings. Sidestep. Oh, man. Face first into the turnbuckle, down to the floor goes Swerve, and Brody King now on the apron. And Brody King right now on the road with the cannonball. Centein wiping out Swerve on the floor. And of course, folks, again, Forbidden Door is Sunday, June 28th. That will be the finals of both tournaments who will determine who will go all in August 30th in Wembley Stadium. The biggest event of the calendar year for All Elite Wrestling at the cathedral of not only football, but professional wrestling once again. And now Swerve Strickland being given a seat. Oh, man. By Brody King. Another vicious knife-edge chop, and uh-oh. And right now, Brody King might be looking to go on the move or maybe on the rampage, squaring up Swerve. And there, Prince Nana playing interception. Being pushed away and dropped Toho with that distraction as Swerve takes advantage. Bradley Aubrey Edwards, of course, can't eject Prince Nana unless he gets physically involved in this match, which he hasn't yet. But disrupting right now the count on the outside is Swerve Strickland teeing up against Brody King, giving Brody King a seat now. And now Swerve on the move up the center by the Swerve, man! Running Swerve stop off the apron. What about Brody King? Will Swerve do what's needed to punch his to forbidden door as this match continues? Stay tuned. Fuck television. Restaurant Quality Perazo picture. Good grief. Again, the Skye Blue. That's an upset I did not see coming. I really thought the Triangle Maps were going to get involved and miss like Sareee, who was the original opponent. But Maya World, to Maya World and Skye Blue's credit, did it one-on-one, and Skye Blue's eliminated. Man. And we'll see if that's an easier ticket to the Forbidden Door for a Athena or not. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, I do. As he did talk to me in the chat. Yeah, so let me see here. I mean, I'm used to doing these things solos. I mean, at this point, you know what it is, but it is. It's actually more comfortable, honestly, because AEW is a rejuvenation of professional wrestling engagement for me as a fan, damn it. But that's all I got to say about that. Anyway, shout out again to Nick Belief and all the work that he does at Mo Studios. Follow him today on the X. Follow the missus and her work too. Mrs. Ferrante, I'm guessing at Miss Nick Belief. I don't know. I don't know if she has X or not, but go follow her works. Go support her and all her literary endeavors. And again, follow us all here at SR Studios 2024 if you haven't yet. So, you know. Probably not if there's no Owen. We'll see. But, you know. I mean, again, the whole purpose of me covering these Dynamites, despite the fact we probably cover some of Black Dynamic because it's a special, is because we wanted to bring you full coverage of this year's men's and women's Owen Hart Foundation tournaments. And I think that we've done a great job. And again, next week, folks, as I talked about, we know next week it will be Azuki versus Mercedes Moné on Dynamite. One of those two women will punch their ticket to the Forbidden Door officially. And I imagine the go-home Dynamite to Forbidden Door is going to be Athena versus Maya Wells. We now have our final four in the women's tournament. Again, we've already know our finals this year in the men for one half. Will Ospreay advanced. He beat Mark Davis. We are learning the other half of the finals tonight. Tonight we'll clinch our finals at Forbidden Door for the men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. And the thing about Swerve Strickland, when he faced Kenny Omega and said, I need this. And he beat the cleaner. And then a follow-up encounter where it was about power and glory, trying to punch his ticket towards the AEW World Championship at Dynasty. He lost, but he didn't lose his way. He found his way again, once again, to find his way closer to the AEW World Championship. After overcoming the most wanted, now he tries to overcome Violence Unlimited as we continue here tonight, our main event at the men's Owen Hart Tournament semifinals at Summer Blockbuster AEW Dynamite. Brody King versus Swerve Strickland right now. Big right hand of the jaw, and big bad Brody up on the corner with Swerve Strickland there. And, of course, this is all for the Forbidden Door on Sunday, June 24th. I sense disaster. Aubrey Edwards right now watching up above as you see Prince Nana once again trying to get involved here, trying to save his boy. Aubrey Edwards was able almost to catch, I think, Prince Nana there for a moment. My homage a warning. Of course, if Prince Nana gets too involved, Aubrey Edwards will have the right to officially eject him. Swerve able to slip up from underneath, though, hoisting up Brody. There is no way. Brody King trying to hold on with everything he has in that turnbuckle, ripping it off now. And again, just choking him out. And pushed into it. Oh, man, what a pump kick. And the back of Brody King's head against that exposed turnbuckle pad that Brody King inadvertently ripped off, holding on from the powerbomb attempts. Oh, man. That could have literally knocked Brody King out senselessly. Again, goes back to the strength, though, by Brody King to hold on. And right now, Swerve hooking up. Massive! Big Russian leg sweep, or flatliner, excuse me. And again, the back of Brody King's head hitting the canvas hard from the middle rope. Almost a hush falling on the crowd here right now. And you see that exposed turnbuckle. And Prince Nana saying, so calculated. Prince Nana, of course, the only family Swerve Strickland has in AEW that's been so instrumental in his career. And right now, Swerve scouting Brody King, who's on one knee looking for a house call. I don't know if he got all of it, though. Brody King, I think, ducked underneath it slightly. Back elbow strike, and Brody still fighting back, pushing Swerve to the corner, and Brody on the move. Swerve gets the boot up, though. And again, that exposed heel behind Swerve Strickland. Brody, pop up. Oh! And Swerve stop, pop up in the cover, back press, sends the verdict with the front leg kick out two by Brody King. Damn, how the world did Swerve do that? And how the hell did Brody kick out of that? He's probably still seeing stars right now. And rolling to the outside here, almost stumbling on his own 2 feet. And Swerve, though, up and over, lands on his feet on the outside, and Brody King hoisting on Swerve, pulling him across the announce table partition, breaking it in half. Damn! That partition benting in half on Swerve Strickland's back on that reinforced announce table, and that might be the saving grace Brody King needs to preserve his chance for the finals. RB Everett's checking on both men on the outside right now. MJF watching on from the back here. Of course, CN, who might truly be the next challenger for the AEW World title if Mark Briscoe fails to win at Forbidden Door in this 6-man steel cage match on 12-man steel cage on both sides. We turn inside the ring. Brody King with the cover. Lateral press. Gets a 2 count on Swerve Strickland. Of course, Swerve coming back from an ankle injury that he happened to face at Forbidden Door last year after taking on the Rainmaker Tsuchika Okada for the Continental Championship. And Brody King right now almost calculating his approach here against maybe a vulnerable Swerve Strickland. Knife edge chop as Swerve hoists it back up to his feet. But Swerve answering in kind with the elbows, still keeping up in this fight here. Again, back and forth elbows and another vicious knife edge chop by the heavy Brody King. It was that ridiculous swift right lariat that allowed Brody King to advance against Kyle Castagnoli in this year's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. So that could come out of nowhere, and that could be the difference maker here. That could be the KO that Brody King needs. Of course, that should be repaired wrist, by the way. And Swerve again coming forward. Eats another chop after that assault of elbows. Seemed to have no effect on Brody King here. And Swerve, of course, winning against Bandito at Double or Nothing. It looks like Swerve Strickland hyping himself up here right now, almost punching himself in the head. Another vicious slap, though. Swerve Strickland defiant to the end. Swinging a miss, spinning Soba, sends Brody King down. Combination offense by Swerve, rolling elbow connects. Brody King, though, grabbing Swerve by the dress, hoisting him up for dangerous backdrop. Swerve back to his feet, though. Oh, man, runs it with the house call. And Brody wants out Swerve with the freaking lariat. Cover by Brody, falls in, gets 2.5. Damn, what an exchange. And of course, Persephone blaming that black mist, the reason that she may have had her vision impaired and was unable to escape the Hazuki straw this past collision. Of course, July 1st, we're going to crown a brand new TBS champion. As I was talking about, well, now we're going to vacate that title. That will be decided in Survival of the Fittest. Julia Hart will be in a qualifying match for Survival of the Fittest, former TBS champion. Again, folks, that TBS championship Survival of the Fittest match, 6-way eliminator match, will be on AEW Dynamite Wednesday, July 1st. And right now, Swerve Strickland, once again, back up to his feet. Brody King, though, grab and swerve into that sleeper hold, keeping him towards center of the ring. And right now, Brody King driven back first in the exposed turnbuckle. Again, Brody King, though, refusing to let go of the hold, though, and Swerve trying to do everything he can to force the break, and does so again, driving Brody King's back in that exposed turnbuckle. And about to say by any means necessary. Oh, no! Brody King got sidestepped face first into the exposed turnbuckle now by Swerve Strickland. Swerve literally giving himself new life in this match. About to say. And Brody King busted open hard ways across the bridge of his forehead. Oh, my gosh. He is bleeding profusely. Oh, my Lord. Ooh. Brody King seeing red, but that is one tough son of a bitch. And Swerve with the freaking cackle and smile of a joker, looking to break through with a house call. But Brody King didn't go down, though. Instead, Brody King rising up like the living dead. And Swerve can't believe it. Swerve up to the top rope, though, and Brody King might not be aware from behind. Oh, connects. Brody goes down in a heap, shoots the half cover by Swerve. It's no kick out to an attempts. How the hell did Brody King withstood that? Busted hard ways, face first exposed turnbuckle, and a lethal blind shot with a house call from the top turnbuckle out of the corner, and Brody King still kicked out. And the lethal whiplash effect nonetheless as well, now losing blood by the second or by the pint, if not both. And Swerve Strickland right now might literally go to the most dangerous means, trying to hoist Big Bad Brody up for a cop kill. This would be insane. Brody King, too strong still, able to hoist Swerve up and over. Able to counter out of it. Now hoisting up Swerve in the fireman's carry. And a running death-valley bomb in the corner. Good Lord. And the blood again continues to just fall down Brody King's face. As once again, AEW, the story of the match told by what's left on the canvas by the combatants. And right now, Brody King might be looking to go for another cannonball. Prince Nana once again, though, up on the apron as Swerve distracts Aubrey Edwards. And Big Bad Brody right now. And now Prince Nana, trapped in the clutches of Brody King, might be going to sleep in his own chokehold. The sleeper hold. Meanwhile, though, Aubrey Edwards and Swerve Strickland come with a cannonball in the corner. And right now, Swerve hoisted it up by Brody. Pile driver! Back press, hook the legs, kick out to the attempts. Triple top. Swerve Strickland with the late escape. AEW champion out loud and proud, as this is what it means to wrestle here in the Owen Hart Edition tournament for your chance to go all in. And once again, Brody looking to hook up Swerve, possibly for a defying Gonzo bomb up on the shoulder. Swerve able to escape though. And right now, whoa, Aubrey just gets out of the way. And Prince Nana, I think, just hit Brody King with the ring bell outside Aubrey's referee's position and trapped in a cop killer. Swerve with the cover! It's Swerve and Ospreay Forbidden Door this year in the finals! That last blunt shot with the ring bell out of nowhere by Prince Nana, semi-incapacitated. Dangerous means, dubious choices, devious plans have punched Forbidden Door for Swerve Strickland. And that might have been the difference maker right there. As our finals are set, in this year's men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament at Forbidden Door, it will be Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, as one of these men will go all in for the AEW World Championship. We got a rematch from Forbidden Door 2024. But damn, did Brody King go down fighting like a warrior. Again, though, look out here. Yep, that was the ring bell, literally outside Aubrey's vision after Aubrey almost got crushed by Brody, and an incapacitated Brody King staggered towards center as Swerve Strickland connected with the cop killer. Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, two men that fought for AEW's very existence last year, will fight to control the future of the company this year. Again, next week, Hazuki goes one-on-one with Mercedes Moné, and we'll find out the finals, one half of the finals in the women's Owen Hart Edition tournament. But for now, the summer blockbuster is about to roll credits. I thank you all for tuning in as we leave whose house? Swerve's house. On behalf of the Super Liable Studios, I am the Seminole Foster, who's here to remind you AEW is where the best wrestle and make a positive impact in life. And have a good night, and thank you for tuning in to AEW Dynamite's Summer Blockbuster. See you Saturday for shenanigans or next week Wednesday night for more AEW Dynamite.